Everybody, welcome back to Nat 2.
Or it's just the two of us.
Here's part 2.
You didn't say naturally.
Oh, naturally. Oh my gosh. This is the first time I've ever messed up. Shoot me.
This is the first. We've never had to edit any of Shay. It's only been me.
Yeah, I'm perfect. Every time that you think that maybe you heard like a edit cut because I did a really bad job,
Yeah, no.
it's not.
It's really, you're editing me out. Every now I like to beatbox mid-episode. Anyway, here's the second part of the episode from last week. .com #/now.
Cool. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Or I guess hello. Anyways.
Okay, so the last thing that happened was Finch was allowed to go on the adventure. His mom spun him around, and he ran off to presumably prepare for, even though his adventuring bag is all packed. So that's what's going on with Finch. Lucian, cry typing. Lucian and Etheod. Lucian just asked Etheod to go see if Fingers is okay.
Yeah.
After a weird kind of tense moment. So that's what Etheod's doing. Meredith went to go talk to Mr. Green about potentially like a carriage being involved, and they don't have to walk all the way to the castle town. So that's what she's doing, and that's everyone involved. I mean, Lucian is going to sleep, as he says, in the room. Fingers is gone.
Yeah.
Unknown location. And everybody else is just presumably where they were at. So, what is it, as Etheod goes to go discuss whatever it is, to check on Fingers, make sure he's okay, whatever else he chooses to do. What is Finch's, trajectory? What's he gonna go do?
Finch is gonna go get his adventuring pack. And I think that he wants to tell his friends, his two little buddies that he has, that he finally sequestered an adventure.
Oh, yeah? Okay, so, where does Finch live? In the room. I assumed that he would, in the interest of space, sleep in the same room as his parents.
Probably, because they got a big family.
Yeah, I think that probably Jack has his own room, because, yep. And everybody else lives elsewhere.
I think August lives at the house as well.
I feel like Jack and August would share a room to August's. I feel like August has the same view as Finch does about Jack, which is that he's my puedo.
Yeah.
Sure, he's a little weird, but, whatever,
Yeah.
I feel like Jack is pretty, amenable to the whole situation.
Yeah.
So, you're going to the room that you share with your parents to go get your adventuring pack. As you walk to go do that, you are, you're walking through the main kind of the dining area at the front of the tavern. People are milling about. There's various and sundry patrons. And you hear, general whatever din of conversation. Go ahead and roll a perception check. Okay.
7.
You, general din of conversation, drones out any kind of noteworthy whatever.
Yeah.
As you walk to your parents' room to go get your adventuring pack.
Cool.
So
he gets that, and then I think he puts it on. It's freaking big. It's
a heavy.
Yeah, it's
full
a
of,
stupid.
He's got a magnifying glass hanging out of it for no reason. You could start a fire. I know that flint and iron is a thing, but it's expensive, and also Mom doesn't trust me with it. But with a magnifying glass. Where is this bag kept?
I think it's kept on a chair in the corner of the room, and he's like, nobody can touch it because an adventure can come at any time, and I have to be prepared.
Yes, the chair for Finch's adventuring pack. That's what we bought it for. No one can touch this friggin' chair. So you grab it, you put it on you, you're all ready to go. And then where are these two friends?
I think that they have a little, like, thing in the forest, like a little hangout place. He's like, I don't actually know what they with, but we all commune heal sometimes. So if they'll heal, then they'll come and I can tell them. And if they're not healed, then I guess I'll have to tell them afterwards.
What's it called? I imagine it would have like a cool kid, hideout name.
It's called The Office.
The Office? I feel like Finch named it.
Yeah.
They were like, I don't know, in the woods and whatever, and Finch is like, no!
The Office.
So you kind of duck out the door, head to the office. As you're going there, are you trying to be like stealthy, or are you like, everyone?
No, I think that he's just like not trying to draw attention to himself, but not trying to be stealthy. And I think as he's walking, he's like, an adventure. I am going on an adventure. An adventure. Like,
Finch, where are you off to?
I'm gonna go tell. I gotta come up with 2 names.
No, impossible.
What are they? Are they gonna be Eldrins?
Like, whatever you want, baby. They can be Eldrins, they can be humans.
So they're in the Talentha region, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go tell Mag and Emil that I'm going on an adventure.
All right, well, make sure you're home before, it's already started to get dark, but before it gets really, really to pitch black. All right?
All right.
Okay, Finch, be safe.
I love you.
I love you too, Finch. And your dad, ruffles your hair. And your mom, while he's she, turns around to protest this going on. And your dad kind of gives her a look. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm his father and I have allowed this. That kind of look. And she, puts her hands up and continues doing whatever she's doing. So, you walk out into the forest. It is already properly dark. Mm-hmm. It's dark. It's freaking 8 o'clock. But you got stuff they can see in the dark, rats, whatever, you can smell your way home.
He's like, let me just tone on my eyes.
Yeah, and the office is not far away from you. Even I would say it is, if you will, at the bottom of the garden. You can practically see it from, the front door, or, the back door. And so, this is not an issue. So, you go to the office. What does it look like?
I think that it's a bunch of, smaller, the thickness of, maybe a 2-year-old tree. They're really not that thick and they're really easy to break. I think it's a bunch of just, sticks like that have been propped up together to form, a little, tent thing on the ground. Mm-hmm. And I think it's at the base of a, tree. And so I think that there's that is, underneath, and there's, a little blanket that's freaking gross. Little kids running on it, it's muddy, whatever. And I think that there's a ladder, a little rope and wood ladder that goes up the tree, and on a thicker branch there's a platform of just wood that you could sit on.
Is there a sign?
I think that there's not a sign, but I think the side of the tree has paint on it that just says The Office in drippy white paint.
What are Mag and Emil boys or girls?
Mag is a girl and Emil is a boy.
I was going to say it says no girls allowed, but except for Mag.
I think it says that. no girls allowed except for Mag.
Arrow pointed PS except for Mag. Cool. So, you get there, you get to the office, and you see that neither Mag nor Emil are there.
Okay. I think that friggin' Finch, puts a hand to his mouth and then does, a perfect freaking bird call. It sounds so good. He's practiced for hours to do this thing.
To summon them.
Yeah, and I think that he just, climbs up the rope ladder and sits and waits, and he's like, they'll come.
It's pretty late for a couple of kids. We're going to see. I'm going to roll a luck check and see if they come. You sit and you wait and you bird call. And eventually you hear this noise. Really, really far off, just kind of like a thumping.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can he roll insight on that?
Good roll perception to see if it strikes you as noteworthy or just like blend with the sounds of the forest.
17.
You turn around, kind of the direction of where the sounds come from, and you see Mag, from Mag's house, a light on in one of the rooms, and you see like a silhouette of her, and you hear her go, "My parents won't let me come," and then you hear someone go, "Shh."
Let me see what spells he has. I just want to make sure.
I'm going to break her out.
I'm going to break her out. Freaking, all of his spells freaking sound so stupid. There's like Druidcraft, Shilliga.
Why not, dude?
Freaking Moonbeam, Heat Metal.
I named them all. Moonbeam is cool sounding.
Moonbeam. I don't know how to say it. It's Shille.
Yeah, I've seen that. I have no idea. Shilligal.
Okay. He is going to, like, look at that. Like, he's going to hear that and be like, "Oh, phooey." And he's going to climb down and he's going to start trudging over to the house. Or, like, to her house.
Yeah, so you trudge over, and as you approach, she's just, like, hanging out there. Presumably, you know, what happens is you see the shadow kind of move away, and then as you move closer, it kind of, like, pops back into view, and you hear someone go, "I said it's bedtime, sweetheart. Put out that light." And Mag is like, "Okay," and like, you know, sound of candle being blown out. And so then in that rectangle is just darkness. And then as you approach the house, presumably, you hear a little, "What?"
"I'm going on an adventure."
"A real one?"
A real one. I'm going on an adventure with strangers, and I'm going to the castle town.
"Are you going to see your brother?" "Do you think I could come too?"
"I don't know. I had to blackmail these strangers to let me go on the adventure."
"Well, could you ask them?"
"Okay, I'll ask them." "Should I blackmail them again?"
"That's probably the best idea."
I have to say, your voice is adorable.
I'm whispering.
Every time I'm just going...
"How did you blackmail them in the first place?"
"Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you. I think that if I tell you, you might be in mortal danger."
You hear like footsteps, and you hear Matt go, "Shh," you know, down a little bit, and then you hear like, "Are you talking to someone?" "No, I'm just, I love you." He's like, "All right, I love you too." Door clicks, and then she's like, "I don't know. My mum would probably not let me go anyway."
What, do you think you could blackmail your mum?
"Oh, it's so much blackmail."
It's necessary for an adventure.
"I've got pretty good dirt on her, but I don't know if I want to waste it on this. I mean, you're going, right? You can just tell us how it goes."
Okay, I'll keep a diary. And I'll write in it every 30 minutes.
"Oh, hold on." And you hear like the sound of child movement, and then just like quiet rummaging, you know, through something. And then you hear something, like she sticks her arm out the thing, and she says, "Take this for good luck," and like holds her hand out like she's gonna drop something in your hand, but you're pretty goodly up, you know.
"Okay, hold on." And he's like walks over to like position himself. He's like, "Okay, I think I got it."
Okay, roll a disadvantage catch check. What would that be?
Dexterity, maybe?
Yeah, okay. We'll do that.
13.
She's on the second floor, and you're on the first floor. And she, you position your body as well as you can underneath her, did I say roll with disadvantage? Okay. Jeez, 13. And you position your body as goodly as you can, underneath this object, and, you see a little flash, it flies through the air, and then you hear, "Did you get it?"
No.
What's your freaking name? Finch.
What is it? I'll look for it.
It's a rock.
Oh, he's gonna, search the ground for it. I
Well,
guess.
buddy, there's one or two other rocks.
Yeah. Oh, can you make a perception check to be like, is there any rock that stands out?
Yeah.
8.
It's nighttime.
I think that he looks at the ground and goes, slowly looks up. I found it.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, then your adventure will go great.
Is my eventual going great contingent upon me having this walk?
Well, I don't know, but it'll give you good luck.
Thank you, Meg.
Okay, well, let us know how it goes.
I have to go tell Emmo.
That's a good idea, but I don't know if he'll be able to talk to you. He got in trouble.
Did he get in trouble?
You hear additional footsteps, and then you hear, "Mag, I said go to sleep." And she's like, "All right. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Be safe."
I will. I love you.
You hear no more sounds.
Okay. I think that Finch... I think Finch needs to make a history check for maybe where Emil lives.
Oh, he doesn't know?
No, I think that he's like, you're around and you know where I live.
Emil comes to the office to
Yeah.
hang out. Okay, cool. Roll a history check.
17.
There are, you know that Emil is the little brother of one of the girls that August
Okay.
frequents, if you will.
Does he know which one?
It is Tabitha.
Okay. Does he know where Tabitha's house is?
It is one of two houses.
Okay. I think that he will go to the closest one first.
Uh-huh.
And scope it out, I think.
Okay, it's been about 20 minutes since you left, and you know that if you go there, there's probably a good chance, because your dad thought you were just going to the office.
Yeah.
If you spend an inordinate amount of time doing things in the nighttime, you have an idea that could not go well for you, especially since you've just begged to go on this adventure. But you are with it. You can, if you want to. You can roll a luck check to see if that will happen. Or I can roll something to see the likelihood of that happening. Them being pissed off.
If I use Long Strider, which it says you touch a creature, the target's speed increases by 10 feet until the spell ends, would that help in his making it a quick trip?
Since it's just 10 feet, probably not. Because, yeah, it's just 10 feet. I mean, per turn of combat, which is meaningless because there is no combat. But he'd be able to get there fast or whatever. But, there's the chance your dad might walk outside to come get you, that sort of thing. So it's not going to help with that.
Okay. I think that he's thinking about all this, and he's like, Emma will understand. I can't compromise an adventure. And I think he, nods solemnly in the direction of where maybe his house is, and then turns and goes back home.
Okay. Mag's house is really close to yours. You can see it from the office. And so you are not, super, far away. I'm going to roll to see if your dad has come out to look for you. When you get back to the office, there's no one to be seen. Nothing has been moved or anything like that. And you don't see your dad or your mom or anything outside. So you're probably chilling.
Oh, you know what? I think that what he will do is, he'll take I feel like he has like an adventurer's journal on him, like, you know, freaking.
You said you'll keep a diary,
Yeah.
so yeah.
And so I think that he rips a page out of it and he writes on it, "Gone on an adventure, will return subsequently. Finch." And then like sticks it on the inside of the like little tent structure that they made.
Okay, cool. So while you're still out there, we're gonna cut to Etheod.
All right.
So Etheod exits the room a bit of time after Finch and Meredith both leave.
Okay.
What is he trying to do?
Find fingers.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check with advantage.
Okay. 10.
The saddest little 10. You see hide nor hair of fingers. However, you can roll an insight check on fingers to interpret where you think he might have gone, or you can just start checking places.
Yeah, I think he'll do that.
Okay.
21.
I mean, he did say he wanted to get some air. Mm-hmm. He was very, intent on keeping up no, he'll be fine. He can come with us. We need no one to know your identity. Hanging out in the room with Lucian.
Yeah.
So why would he walk out into the tavern? He didn't want to talk to anybody anyway.
Yeah.
He's got to be outside somewhere.
Okay.
Just like obviously, presumably as well, your knowledge of fingers, he's going to be close to the whatever.
Yeah.
You don't hear any, you know also that Meredith walked out into the dining hall to talk to Finch's dad. So unless Fingers decided he was going to roll the dice, if you will, and sneak out the front door, probably what happened is he snuck out the open window that you're next to.
I think Keith is like thinking about this and then he looks at it and he's like, okay. He like goes through
Doug
it.
sat there. Also as well, you can hear from where you are Meredith talking to Finch's dad. Mm-hmm. If you want to like listen in on that conversation, you can. But Fingers will be probably meaningfully farther away.
Yeah, I think he doesn't care to listen to that because he's like, it's going to be what it is going to be. I'm going to roll with the punches, baby.
Right.
Hopefully there are no actual punches because that would be bad.
That would be bad. Okay, cool. So, do you swoosh out this window?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, are you trying to be stealthy?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Roll stealth.
How weird. It's like, why are you
going out the window? Go ahead, roll with advantage because you're pretty, hiding in plain sight.
Okay. 23.
Cool. So, all right. You pop out this window. He's looking at me with such fear. You hop out this window and you see the backyard. Mm-hmm. You're in the backyard. It's like not for the tavern. Like it's not like there's like tables or anything outside. It's like sort of semi-overgrown, like dried grass.
Yeah.
That, dead from winter and dying, blowing around, that sort of thing. And you see this weird, like, friggin' tree, like, sticks in tree, whatever, that has, like, words painted on it that are, like, barely legible handwriting. And that sort of thing. Go ahead and roll a perception check for Fingers, for your boy.
18.
You kind of, like, turn to look around, and you hear, what are you doing out here?
Oh. He's gonna look to see where he is.
Fingers is sitting on the ground, like directly next to the window.
What the fuck? Jesus.
What?
I thought I was going to have to search for you.
I didn't say I was gonna disappear. I just said I wanted some air.
Well, I didn't say that you were going to disappear.
That's why I left the window open.
So it was obvious that you were out here?
No, fool, so that I could get back inside.
Okay.
Wait, did you need something?
I think he's gonna like sit down a good distance away from him. Like, I feel like it's fingers, the open window, and then Etheod. Like, there's that space between them. He's like, I just wanted to make sure you were okay. Why are you upset about it?
Come on. He's gonna, like, get up and walk away.
Etheod's gonna follow him.
And he's just kind of walking in, like, no heading or whatever. Just kind of walking through the grass. And you guys are quiet for a while. He's kind of, like, looking around just to make sure there's not whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see, like, the trees are starting to get their green back. There's been a few, like, rainy spells, so stuff's, like, getting green, and then, frost snaps, like, dying back and turning green again, so Fingers sneezes at one point, like, wipes his nose.
Are you allergic to pollen?
Yeah.
Me too.
Eventually he like stops. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want to cause problems. He's just pissing me off.
Lucian?
Yeah.
Why?
Because we do all that work. All of us, him too, to get here. And he's gonna blow it because this kid's mom is crying or something? And you can't shove it for 2 seconds and say that the kid will be fine so no one finds out who he is? Because he doesn't want to lie or whatever?
I don't know. I mean, I think that he doesn't want to promise that a kid's gonna be okay. And then have something happen.
I get that, but doesn't he knows what the stakes are. I mean, as much fun as it is to have the life of you and your family in the hands of some ridiculous 10-year-old, that's the situation, That kid doesn't know what he's got, and he's gonna dangle it in front of our faces. Lucian knows that. He knows what's at stake, and he's just gonna sit there and let us lie for him.
But
I want to.
What, lie?
Yeah. What do I want to do that or something? No. He's gonna make it all beyond me, us.
But I think that we're used to it. It's what we do.
It's for him. What do you think I like? I don't like it.
I understand that. I think that well, he wanted to thank you, and also he apologized to me, and also thanked me. It was weird.
What do you thank me for?
What?
What did he thank me for?
Well, for helping him, and he apologized for being a burden. I don't know. I was really freaking out, so it was hard to listen. Right? Yeah, I'm fine. Don't. But
you're welcome, and he can apologize for being a burden all he wants to. But he needs to stop.
Stop what?
putting it on us. Me, I don't want to. Maybe you're fine with it.
Putting foot on us.
He doesn't want to lie about who he is. He doesn't want to lie. He doesn't want to lie about, a kid gets hurt or whatever. He's got some moral issue with it, so instead, I have to. We have our story. We have everything straight. We agree that it's not ideal. And then when it comes down to it, he's just going to sit there. Like, I know he's hurt.
Well, I think that,
but what? Yeah, sorry.
I don't know. I think he's kind of messed up about it.
About what?
Making sure that people are safe. I think that maybe he doesn't want to guarantee that somebody will be, because he hasn't been able to do that before, or something.
So he's gonna put everyone else at risk just because he can't make that promise?
I don't know, man.
I'm just saying I don't think it's fair. He's got some
Fingers, you have stuff too. I think. I mean, he I don't know. I mean, back at the orphanage, he fixed his leg, right? He did it by I guess mixing some potions together. I don't really know what he did, but he didn't have the things to fix his leg, and I guess that is what caused this other thing to happen. But he thought I was someone that Tommy, I think he said. I don't really remember, but he thought that I was someone. I guess he felt responsible for dying. And then, he tells us about that winter, and I don't know. He must be messed up about it, and I think that maybe you can't really. I don't know. Never mind.
Look, man. I get it. I'm not trying to say that he doesn't have good reason, but he's got to know as good as anybody that you can't just play this straight, You can't come out squeaky clean. You gotta.
He knows that, though. I think that we're all messing up, and like you you haven't slept at all, and it's pretty obvious that it's affecting you. And
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, don't look at me like that.
I get my issues chalked up to stuff like that regularly. If you don't think it's legitimate, then you don't think it's legitimate. Then we can go back.
You would?
Oh, you're just this, you're just that. You're thinking about it too hard. You're sensitive. You should eat more and feel better. That sort of stuff.
No. What I mean is you have stuff that messes you up too.
Me too. Yeah, I agree.
And
but I'm saying,
it's been
okay,
affecting
so I
it.
got something else that's messing me up right now, and that it's not fair.
Why is it so? Why is it? His dad.
Is this your first time being someone that you're not?
What?
You can just walk around, with that out, and he like gestures to your horns, or lack thereof.
No.
I gotta hide who I am to the Thieves Guild. Just in case they, decide to, I don't know. And Yezi? Just because of what she is, And he can't handle hiding for 2 seconds. So my family can be safe tonight. I know, okay, I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired, man. I'm worried, man. I want to help him. I want to help you. But I got responsibilities. I got moral issues with it all too, but I'm supposed to ignore them so I can be safe. Like that matters.
It does.
Before you say anything, I didn't do all this to hide. I did it to kill that part of me, and if I could. So I'm sorry I'm being mean to Lucian.
You're not a bad person.
We're not gonna do this right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry to put this on you. I just mean that I'm unreasonable. I'm unreasonable. I do things that are not reasonable. This is not one of them.
But everything's fine, though.
Yeah, everything's fine because we covered for him. It was just, what if we're doing this, we're off somewhere, his mom walks in and talks to Lucian by himself, huh? Then I want to be helpful, so I'm trying to get this out of me. You decided you needed to be part of that, then you're going to be part of it. You don't want to hear it, you could have stayed in that room with him, and it would have been fine with me.
I don't know what to do.
You don't have to do anything, man.
He asked me to come find you.
Oh, I see.
And
okay.
Why is that bad? Look, I don't understand anything, and I'm trying, but
I was alright, man. I just got all hot. He keeps asking if I'm okay.
I thought that you were angry about his dad.
I am.
Why?
I guess because I knew he was an assassin. I mean, Yezi, I knew him. Assassins kill people for money, right?
Yes.
Cool. He killed his whole platoon in the war. He wasn't an assassin then. I think that would have upped my stress level slightly had I known that. I mean, great, it all turned out okay, but
why does it matter if he was an assassin then or now? I mean, he was killing people regardless, and you knew that he was.
I don't know, it goes from killing people for money to killing people because you, I don't know, enjoy it. I mean, maybe people do both, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, man, why hide that? Why? Because he's ashamed. Must be nice to be able to hide your shame. So, yeah, I'm angry about that. I can't do anything about it. Hopefully that problem's resolved. I'll talk to him about the other stuff. But I can't deal with him looking at me like that.
Okay.
I just don't want to be there if he's gonna keep doing that.
I'm sorry.
About what?
I don't know. I guess about all of this.
What has it got to do with you? I mean,
we're not at the orphanage anymore because of me, so I would say quite a bit.
well, you know we moved there.
What?
Stuff like this has happened before.
Right, but...
And you know it's worth it. It is.
We're not gonna do this.
Okay.
Okay.
But my point is, you're not trying to blow our cover because you can't deal with a little gray.
I don't think he's trying to blow our cover. I mean,
I think he's trying not to. He needs to try harder.
He's learning. I wasn't good at it. I'm still not good at anything now, so I can't really say that maybe my learning has done anything. I wasn't good at comment, and now look at me.
We should probably go back.
Okay.
He starts walking back to the inn. You have time if you have anything else you wanted to say.
I don't think he has anything else that he wants to say, but I think he's just gonna stand there for a second and kind of like breathe in the air. Like he's like, this is so many emotions. And I'm kind of an in-between, and oh man, do I not like this. It's like, I'm here, and I just want to exist, and I'm trying, and now I'm caught up in everyone's stuff, and man.
Does Etheod do something like physical other than like stuttering when he's nervous?
I feel like he rubs the back of his hand, like he presses the back of his hand into where his horns used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's like kind of doing that.
Fingers is gonna like not hear that you're not following him and like turn his head back and look at you and say, come on, man.
I'm coming. He's gonna follow.
Good roll at perception check.
9.
You can hear your feet, both of your feet, the like grass kind of crinkling underfoot.
Mm-hmm.
There's like an unevenness to it. A, because the ground isn't like perfectly whatever.
Yeah.
And B, because Fingers is still walking kind of funny. And you arrive back in the yard. And you're kind of like just walking back into the yard. And Fingers turns and to face you and says, I know that you got put up to this or whatever. Thanks for listening.
For sure, bro.
I'm sorry that I made you upset.
You didn't make me upset. Why are you rolling your eyes?
Fingers like puts his hand over his mouth. And he's just kind of like standing there, like looking kind of past you. And he's gonna look back at you and say, I've never talked to anybody else who might be able to answer this.
What?
Never mind. And he's
Wait, no, don't do that.
It's really nothing.
Just ask me.
Forget it, come on.
Fingers. Man, don't make me think about what maybe you were going to ask me. Yeah, I'll be distracted, and then it'll be the only thing that I'm thinking about. And
I don't want to ask you.
Please.
Good roll persuasion.
Okay. 16.
He's gonna kind of roll his eyes. He like steps a little bit closer. And Finch, you are in the.
Now,
You're in the office, walking back to the house.
screw you, man.
Go ahead and roll a perception check to see if you hear some folks talking.
22.
You're extremely familiar with the lay of the land. And you hear kind of footsteps approaching, and then stop, and then you hear like murmuring. Right before you're about to walk into the house.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Something, or do you just keep walking back in?
He's gonna
you
go
sure?
listen.
You sure
I'm
you're not
sure,
gonna keep
I'm
walking back in? All right. Are you being stealthy about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll stealth.
14.
Cool. That's your stealth roll.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Roll disadvantage perception as Etheod.
10.
Okay. Your perception was 10?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, you approach Finch, and you see that it is, Lemon and Dave, codenamed Lemon and Dave, that are having a conversation in semi-hushed tones.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem like they're aware of what's going on.
Okay. He's gonna continue to...
He's just, like, approaching.
Yeah.
What's his thought process?
I wonder if this has to do with the eventual.
It's, like, creeping closer.
Adults always keep kids out of stuff, and it's really important stuff that we always need to know.
And, Fingers is gonna look back at Etheod. And he's gonna say, I didn't know what they were, you know. There's not anybody around to tell me. I wouldn't have asked anyway. I thought they were like, you know, like a fingernail,
What?
you know. I mean, they hurt sometimes, but I thought it was just, you know, they grow.
What?
But they bled a lot.
Uh-oh.
Do you know why?
Yeah. How old were you?
Do you know why?
Yes. Mine didn't stop bleeding for, like, 2 weeks.
My hands kept slipping. And it hurt.
Yeah. When they're done growing, I guess that the blood vessels retract and go away, and then if something happens to them, it doesn't hurt.
It was all for nothing.
What do you mean?
Like I said, was a tiefling with no horns. Something else I hoped it would be.
Being a tiefling doesn't mean that you're bad. I hope it doesn't mean that. Am I bad?
No. I guess what I mean is, they still hurt sometimes. So I thought that I thought I could to close it, and that's why.
Mine do too. Usually, if Etheod's gonna reach a hand out and then stop short of, like, his forehead. Can I touch you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fingers is looking at you mystified.
Usually if he's gonna, like, push the heel of his hand into his horns, do this, it helps. It makes him hurt less.
Yeah, me too. I feel like an animal or something. You know?
Yeah. I used to, when I was younger, I had a friend, and we would headbutt each other when we were mad. But I've realized that other people don't do that. I felt so stupid. And then one time, I was going through some farmlands, and I saw 2 rams do it.
I did that one time.
Headbutt a ram?
Back before.
Did it hurt?
Oh yeah, I got one of my horns. It's like stuck. So I had to walk home like that. It's really stuck.
What do you mean walk home like that? With the ram?
It wasn't like it was like
Like a baby.
it wasn't that old. I kind of miss him sometimes.
Me too.
Let's go inside.
Okay.
He's gonna like move his hand away from his head away from your hand.
Yeah, I feel like Etheod's like, oh, I was still doing that? Oh, God.
This whole time. Yeah, I feel like it was like very much like in Greece, if you will, when Kaneki and John Travolta's character are hugging each other, and then they do like a real hug, and they're like, see you at 5 o'clock, and start like brushing their hair. And they, you and Fingers are gonna roll some stealth checks to climb back through a window.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, because their perception and your stealth, you heard all the information of that Finch would be interested in.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad.
11.
Total?
Yep.
All right. You and Fingers are a little bit frazzled from the past several amount of time. And you're going through it. What is Finch's thinking right now?
What the frack?
Just kind of like dumbstruck and thing.
I think he's like, this is like Jack.
Stuff's weird.
Stuff's weird.
Yeah.
And they're saying weird stuff. And also, Tiefling?
That's weird. And Etheod and Fingers go to climb back into this open window. And all of a sudden hear Finch's dad go, Finch? Like peeking his head out like walking around the front of the place to like call you back in.
Yeah.
Scares the crap out of Fingers and Etheod, who both fumble their stealth checks and just sort of fall back onto the ground and appear on the floor, like in a pile outside of the room.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, outside of the window. What does Finch do? We'll do that first.
I think that Finch is like, the chances of my adventure, these people be weird and my dad sees them. And so I think that he like runs for it. He's like, yes. What the okay.
We're back inside. I think you guys look up into the world. Let me roll a luck check to see what's up with that. You are in a pile underneath the window and have made a decently loud noise at like 8:30 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
And you see people kind of peek their heads out of the rooms to like check on you.
Mm-hmm.
People being like patrons or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck was that noise? People kind of like walk around the corner. You hear like, what was that? Like from the front.
Yeah.
And then your Fingers' mom, y'all's mom, opens the door of the room to be like, what the heck is that? You know, whatever. Finch, talking to his dad. Dad calls him inside, gives him the, finger in the face.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Finch just goes back inside.
Yeah, I think that he's like, I'm sorry, Mag and Emma couldn't come to the office, so I went to Mag's house, and then I was going to go to Emma's house, but it's foul, and I couldn't remember where it was.
Well, good boy for not doing that, because that would have been not good.
I made good choices.
You did. This is true, but now it is time for bed, especially if you're going on this adventure tomorrow. And I've got to get to bed early as well. He like rolls his eyes. Everything's kind of like shutting down more, a little bit more. There's still some folks like drinking and that. And Meredith appears outside the door and he's just like, "Hey guys, you want to come in real quick or something? What's going on?"
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. And you two kind of like scramble in the room, and you see, soft light. Some kids are asleep. Some kids are up being irritating. Sana and Leela, like Sana's like passed out and Leela is just like entertaining whatever child. Yeah. You kind of like walk inside and you hear everybody go, "Meesh." Fingers is like, like kind of like rolls his eyes familiarly.
Derision. Familiarly.
Yeah, well, he's just like, "They love me," whatever. Like, he's like, "Yes, it's me."
The one you were all waiting for.
Yeah, the one you've been waiting for. And you hang out. You go inside her room. And she's just like, "What was that about, guys?"
Well, we were
I got mad.
Okay.
And so I went for a walk, and then Etheod, I don't know, going to make sure that I was fine, and then I am, and was, and we're fine. And he, like, sniffs a little bit. And she's, like, giving him, like, eyebrows. She's like, okay, well, good news. The carriage is a go. So, high five, and, like, sticks her hands out, like, one for both of you.
I think that Etheod does not. He just looks at it and goes, mm-hmm.
And Fingers is gonna, like, frickin', like, put his, like, fist bumps her hand.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, well, so there's, like, a checkpoint or something, I don't know, but we gotta leave before that, so you should probably, turn in pretty soon, just make sure that we're there. I mean, listen, if you're confused about that, I didn't say, hey, we're, like, on the run, we gotta get you. I didn't say stuff like that. I was just like, oh, we're eager to get there early, and the dad bit, so there's that.
Oh, okay.
The only thing is, he was kind of like hemming and hawing, so I don't know. Yeah, I guess he might change his mind. Either way, we're waking up early, so.
Okay.
Okay. She's gonna, like, raise an eyebrow. But you guys ate. Everybody ate?
Yes.
Okay, good. Are you alright? She's gonna, like, point at Etheod, like, already convinced that Fingers Mish is probably not alright, but what can she do about it? Like, points at you.
Oh,
Okay, so, like, usual state. Was that too right, or?
I'm going to bed.
Okay, why don't you guys go to bed? Oh, actually, I gotta go with you.
What?
Because I gotta get something out of your room. And she rolls her eyes.
Okay.
And Fingers is like, what do you need out of our room? And she's like, me count. And gets up to leave.
Oh.
Leaving Etheod and Fingers in the room.
I think Etheod just goes and follows Meredith.
Yeah.
I think that he's like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, Fingers tarries a bit because he is counting. Yeah. He has to start over a few times because he doesn't care. And so you follow Meredith, and you see the door, whatever, is open. I'm going to roll something real quick. And I almost wish it was different, but I don't also. You and Meredith gets up to go, you follow her. Mm-hmm. Fingers, comes, follows you, room's close by. It is solidly dark, warm candlelight, flickering, that sort of thing. And you open the door to the boys' room, and in a pile next to Lucian is Neelith.
Oh.
Lucian is knocked out, like dead to the world, whatever, completely obviously on top of the covers, because why would you want them? Like, he literally said, I'm going to go to sleep, and then hit the off button, like, just spent. And he's kind of, like, had one arm out and his head kind of to that one side, and Neelith has, like, curled herself up, like, against his side, and is fast asleep. And Meredith looks at them and kind of, like, looks at you with a very good roll, disadvantage insight.
5.
She looks at you with a expression that involves emotion, therefore you have no clue, really.
I have parsed enough emotions tonight.
Yeah, you're like, she's feeling something, and who's to say what it is? And she gets, like, close to the bed and reaches her arms up, picks up Neelith, and says, would you get all tuckered out staring at him? Like, picks him up, and she's, like, sleepy, like, wiping her eyes, not, like, waking up, really, though. Lucian. Lucian does not even make any kind of motion.
Yeah.
Scoops her up. She does not pick up Lucian. Scoops her up, and as he picks her up, he kind of like walks by Fingers like appears as well, sees Neolith in Meredith's arms, and just like kind of like starts chuckling. And Meredith is like, "There is set. Well, you guys have a good night, all right?"
Okay.
Love you, Mom. And she's gonna be like, "I love you too, kiddo." Walks back to the room. You hear the door lock.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers kind of like looks at you and then like noses into the room.
Yeah. I think that Etheod will close the door and lock it.
Cool.
It's kind of funny, you know? Never mind.
What's funny?
Well, I guess there's technically 3 of us. I was going to say there's matching pairs, but that's not... I mean, I guess we're kind of a matching pair with the fact that we are... we both have the same problem.
We're both so handsome. As we're too handsome.
Two hands. I mean, you know, I have... Oh, never mind. I forgot. You didn't hear me say that, so no.
What did I not hear you say? After all this, you're gonna.
Yes.
Yes.
Why are you making fun of me? Shut the fuck
Go
up.
to sleep, man. Sleep. You're gonna wake up Lucian, huh?
You go to sleep. Maybe curl up in his arms like me.
Freeze to death. What are you talking about? I'm gonna sleep.
Maybe don't make that joke in front of him.
Oh, he's asleep.
Yeah, I don't know, your inner conscious ear stuff, and then maybe he'll start having a dream about...
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Man. He's gonna, like, sit down on the floor. Just, like, wherever.
Yeah.
Like, kind of sits down gingerly. Can you imagine that?
What?
That's so easy. You know. Jokes like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, Finch did say the cold grip of death. He looked so hurt.
Probably because of his recent revelation to us.
Yeah. I don't know, I mean... Whatever people say to me, I kind of just take it on the chin.
Can I say something?
No, yeah.
Weirdly,
Mm-hmm.
I know you're like 12. I feel like he's probably a little more sensitive than you are.
Really?
You know?
Well, that's saying a lot
That,
because
like-
I'm pretty weird.
Oh, that's not in question.
Oh, okay.
I just mean about stuff like that, you know?
Oh, yeah. Like about what you are?
No, like, you know. Like something like that, you know? I mean, look, I'm not throwing stones in a glass house. I don't like jokes either, but...
Oh, I think that he makes up for it by being pretty put together. I think. I mean, recently he hasn't been, but he seems like, you know, he's a doctor, and you can only be so messed up.
I'm not saying he's messed up, man. I'm saying he's sensitive, like to stuff like that. I think.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying, though, is that like he makes up for it by being fine in other respects. I don't know.
Well, if we keep talking, he'll wake up and he can tell us what he thinks of our assessment of him as a person.
I'm okay with not having that happen.
All right. Well, it's a double bed. He's gonna raise an eyebrow at you. I'm gonna sleep on the floor.
You don't want to share a bed with me?
Okay, man.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, let's do it.
No,
Three buddies in a bed.
No, I'm fine. I'm also good at sleep on the floor.
What do you think the chances are that we wake up and Lucian's also on the floor? Will you two shut up?
What the fuck?
Anyway, good night, guys. Lucian just says that he doesn't move a muscle. He's just laying there. How much did you hear of good night? He's just gonna lay down, shut his eyes. Lucian roll a nat 20.
Oh shit.
A nat 20 wake up check. And Fingers is just gonna kind of like, make himself into a pile.
Yeah. Like Etheod goes into like a corner and just like lays on his side. He's like, okay.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You hear Lucian say, I had enough.
Okay.
He doesn't say anything else. Fingers doesn't appear to have clocked that at all.
I think that freaking Etheod is like, man, I should really keep my mouth shut.
And with that last thought ringing in your ears, you shut your eyes. And while that's going on, folks are sleeping soundly. Finch, has been basically told, go to bed or die.
Then I shall perish.
Was he up just farting around or something?
No, I think he puts up a fuss and
he's
then
like,
he immediately...
I don't need to go to bed.
I'm not
There's
tired.
so much planning to do. And your dad, makes you put on pajamas.
Yeah.
There's like a montage of
Yeah.
you, in the bathtub and then friggin' brushing your teeth. And the moment you lay down, your head hits the pillow, you're snoring.
Yeah.
Everything kind of winds down for the evening. No, incidents, whatever. Everything's, sleepy. And everybody sleeps. And while everybody sleeps, even, Bray and his family,
Yeah.
assuming they arrived, they said early evening, so 5 o'clock, something like that, probably, unless not, asleep as well. All of Talenti Castle Town, everybody in the inn, the bar closes, the little Daisy. The bar closes, kitchen closes, everybody goes to sleep there because, it's a family that are running it. But there is no rest for the wicked. And how many under is Yezi about now? It's about 2 a.m.
Yep.
And you are the only one left in this bar. There are like a couple other folks who aren't drinking, just like make a goo-goo eyes at each other and like a corner table, that sort of thing.
I think
She's feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, I think by this point it's like upwards to 10 drinks.
She's got a pretty
High tolerance.
stanky tolerance at this point. You can hear crickets chirping, there's like a barmaid who is the old timey-wimey equivalent of on her phone, like reading a book. It's called the busty milkmaid or something.
It's the ye old court of thorns and roses or whatever.
Ye old lusty Argonian maid. Well, I guess that is ye old. You can see she's, got one hand that's like halfway across the title, but it's slipped down a little bit, so you can tell that she's like, she's
reading 50 Shades of Grey.
reading 50 Shades of Grey, yeah. And she's like, huddled up in the corner, and looks frighteningly irritated every time you ask her to hit you again. There's no other, whatever. You hear like kind of, noises, folks doing whatever, maybe the proprietors are doing some stuff, prep is being done, stuff like that, but generally there's not a whole lot of noise. And you are bedrunkus. So go ahead, roll a disadvantage perception check.
I gotta use my rock one.
Do it, man. She's a rock.
Oh, disadvantage perception?
Yeah. Okay, using both.
She's already got a -1. 10.
You are... What's Yezi thinking about right now?
I think she's thinking about, one, how she's gonna put this on a tab and be like, yeah, I'm going to pay for it later. And then she's like, oh, I'm never going to be here again.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, isn't it? And then, I think that makes her think of her hefty tab at the dented euphonium.
Mm-hmm.
And then she starts thinking about, man, their drinks are so much better. This tastes like shit.
Well, excuse me.
What? Oh, am I saying that out loud?
She like rolls her eyes and goes back to her book.
Why don't you just get laid? Instead of reading about somebody else getting laid.
She like looks at you abhorred and like crosses the floor to like farther, still behind the bar, but like farther away from you. And do you intend to sleep, or you wait until you're like chemically asleep?
I feel like she's probably like waiting until she's like, I am drunk enough that I close my eyes, and then the next time I open them, it is morning.
Mm-hmm. So you're, sipping on what? Like a
gin
cocktail?
and juice.
Gin and juice? Are you drinking like a cocktail, or are you just drinking straight liquor, I'd imagine?
I think it's a cocktail.
So you're doing that, swilling some whatever cosmopolitan, like a dark and stormy or something like that. That goes with her vibe. And you hear kind of like a general like noise behind you, like scruffling whatever, that kind of like blends in with everything else that's going on around you. And you're thinking about your tab at the dented euphonium. You're thinking about Waypoint Town. You're thinking about Hale. His hand wrapped around your hand, staring at Lucian, and why didn't you kill him?
Mm-hmm.
You could have. And then what? Then you and Fingers, would he forgive you? Probably not. Doing that, but is that the only reason why? Why are you helping Tavumile now?
Yeah.
Is it just because you think Fingers won't want you if you don't? Like thoughts like that arising, like complicated, weird, whatever. Is she gonna try and like answer those, or she's just like more alcohol? Like, let me make this go away.
No, I don't think she wants to answer them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that every time she starts questioning her morals and her values and stuff like that, I think that she's like, no, it's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, tries to veer her thoughts to something else.
Go ahead and roll another disadvantage perception check.
9.
You hear the sound of someone like walking up to the bar.
I think that she kind of just like glances over just because there's noise, but not because she's really like curious or anything.
Mm-hmm. So you just like see that there's somebody there, and you see a man there, and he's making his way inside. It's late, he's probably tired and stuff. He's walking kind of slowly, and like walks up to the bar table, or like a seat that's decently away from you, and kind of like your eyes. Are you watching, or your eyes just like flash back to what you were looking?
I think eyes flash back to her own drink.
Mm-hmm. Is there a memory that you're fighting back specifically to keep from surfacing? Like something in particular that's really she's struggling with, or?
I feel like there's one that gets her quite a lot, and I think it's a time when somebody agreed to disappear and give, whatever part they chose
Right.
as proof that they're gone. And within the process of taking that, she messed up and caused them to bleed out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she was thinking about that, where she's like, I wasn't gonna kill them, and then I did anyways.
Mm-hmm. You made them think that
they were gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And I think that whole experience is really hard for her to like let go of. I think because of the nature of it, like it was so, he was like nobody, no one of any import.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't even a like, usually there's like a description of to why this person wants them dead or what their quote unquote crime was. And this didn't have anything. And I think that she was just like, this was in somebody's like residential home.
Go ahead, roll me a constitution check.
12.
So you're kind of like, that's like sloshing around in your head, and you're like flashes of his face, mixed up in all these complicated thoughts. And you take a sip of something that tastes like, at this point, practically nothing. Slightly sweet, if anything, and kind of like washes it away. Other thoughts. You keep trying to push that one away. Go ahead and roll a perception check with disadvantage.
Unnatural one.
That last sip seems to have done it.
Mm-hmm.
And you are, you're good and good. You're kind of swept up. Like the bar in front of you disappears, really. And it's just those thoughts you see in front of you. Kind of swirling around. And then kind of swirling into nothingness.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that blackness that you were looking for. And then you feel a hand roughly on your shoulder.
Okay.
Kind of like, all you feel is a sensation. You're too whatever to do anything about it. You feel a sensation for a moment, and then it backs off. And then you hear someone say, "Have you got a room? You've got to go to it now. Can't have you passed out at the bar."
Oh, right. I feel like she like looks around and she's like, can I put all of this in a tab?
I suppose. What's the name?
Sailor.
She's like, go ahead, roll a disadvantage perception check.
7.
She's definitely looking at you funny, but that could be for any number of reasons at this point. And her hand is still kind of like up, like pulled back, apparently, for when she touched you. And she goes to like write that down, whatever book you write stuff down in about tabs in the past. And she looks over her shoulder and says, "I'll be right with you," at the other patron, who is now like facing you, as you would imagine.
Yeah, I think that Yezi kind of looks at them vaguely.
You see that he's pretty far away, but he's sort of looking at you. he's got a peculiar expression on his face as well.
What does he look like?
You kind of blink away, you're seeing like double of him. He like comes into view, and he's just like a summer eldrin, relatively scruffy looking.
Okay, I think that she, like, then he's like staring at her.
Yeah, he's standing at the bar like he was gonna sit down, and then heard presumably what's the loudest sound he's ever heard in his life, which is a 300-pound head slamming into the bar. Look, a rock forehead hitting a freaking counter.
The splintering it.
Yeah, it's like splintering. It's like walnut. She like, as Yezi gets him and walks away, there's like a dent where her forehead hit, and the girl is like, "What the heck is going on?" Presumably, the audience knows Yezi's busy. Knows that that's what this person is like raising his eyebrow at.
I think that Yezi like sees that guy's staring at her, and she's like, "What are you looking at? Mind your business."
You turn to look at him, and you say that, and he kind of chuckles and says, "Far be it from me to ask questions."
I think that she gets up, and I think that she's like very unsteady.
And the barkeep like kind of just like looking at you, kind of giving you like a wide berth, Yezi, as you like walk, and she's like, "You broke our countertop with your forehead. I don't know what this means for us." And she's gonna walk over to this patron and service, whatever. What is Yezi gonna do?
I think that she's gonna make for the room.
Good, roll a perception check.
Okay.
With disadvantage.
That one.
Straight up? Like a 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Yezi takes one step in the hallway. Darker than the rest of the world. All of a sudden, that darkness is back. And everyone hears the loudest sound that they have ever heard as her body collides with planet Earth.
Okay. I feel like she hits the deck and she goes, "Ugh."
You hear silence, like as you your brain like restarts itself after that, and you're like on your. How did you fall?
I feel like face first.
Yeah, with a nat 1, you like face plant into the ground. It's like a stone floor, and the stones you can see like how when you hit two stones together, there's that like white spot, whatever. There's that on the floor.
Can Tavumile and Iffy roll perception?
See if they wake up? Yeah, sure thing. I'll roll for Thalen and send it too.
12 for Iffy. 13 for Tavumile.
Send rolled a nat 1, so if anything, he's more asleep. Thalen rolled a 19, but does not care. And Tavumile and Iffy did not roll high enough for that to be noteworthy to them. They're just like, "Oh, bang, whatever."
Yeah.
Because it's loud, but there are loud things that could happen in a tavern. So all you kind of hear in your awareness is the sounds of the barmaid who is like walked around the corner to like raise an eyebrow at you, kind of just like walk back. She's like, "I don't know, whatever."
I think that Yezi is like pushed herself up and she's like on her knees, like just kind of like staring at the ground, being like, "Come on, get it together." Like we can walk.
Good, roll a Constitution saving throw.
4. Freaking Yezi,
Dang,
man.
dude. All right, man. So, as you decide that you're going to try and do that, raw, like stones, that's comfy for you. They're nice and cool, and you're really hot and weird all of a sudden. What if we just hung out on the floor, you know?
And she's like, okay, right here is as good as any. And like just starts to lay down on the floor.
Several moments later, who would the barkeep wake up? If which of the two rooms would she wake up?
You want to roll a luck check?
I do. I want you to roll it.
Okay.
We'll say 10 and up. It's Tavumile and Iffy's room.
Okay.
And 9 and lower, it's Thalen and Senthit.
Okay.
Okay.
10.
Oh, snap. Okay. She will knock until one of you wakes up. So
Okay.
I'm not going to make you roll for it. I'll make you roll for which of the two wakes up first.
Okay.
We can do the same roll if you want, even.
Sure. Yeah.
Make it easy.
10 and up, it's Iffy.
Okay. Yeah, 9 and down, Tavumile.
9.
Okay, so Tavumile wakes up first, and she hears just, like, banging on the door.
She's like, And she, like, walks over to it and opens it. Hello.
Hello, excuse me.
Yes.
One of the girls that you were talking to earlier is passed out on my floor.
One of the girls.
I'll say probably. Well, I'll have if Tavumile wants to wake Iffy up, then she can.
Yeah, I think that she will. She's like, all right. Give me one moment, please. I feel like she keeps the door open, but she goes over to Iffy and she's just like, Iffy.
Either way, it's your problem now. So,
All right.
I'll ask you to fix it or else I have to throw you out.
Well, we're going to fix it, I promise.
She's gonna just shut the door and, like, stomp back to her post.
I feel like Tavima's like shaking Iffy's shoulder. Iffy? What do you want? Yezi's passed out. I don't know why. Oh no. Yezi's passed out and the barkeep just came to let us know that it's our problem now and that if we don't fix it, that she's going to kick us out. And I think that would be really bad because I quite like sleeping in the bed. Oh, alright. Why are you waking me up? Well, well, she's passed out because, she hit her head or something. Honey, she's probably passed out because she was drinking. Well, could you help me? I've never had to deal with anyone that's drunk before. Have you not? No. I feel like if he, like, sits up and she's like, alright, I have, wait, she's a stone lady, right? What do you mean? And, like, she's made out of rock. It's gonna be heavy as hell. She's, like, pushing the heel of her hand into her head, and she's like, alright, come on. She, like, gets up all groggily, goes to the door and opens it, and, like, sticks her head out. She's like, oh, come on. Like, sees her laying on the ground.
Would roll a disadvantage perception check. Will it be disadvantaged anyway?
Yeah. As Iffy?
Yeah.
That one.
That one? Okay, cool. So, you see Yezi passed out on the ground. She's freaking fully passed out. Like, knocked out, head to the side, drooling.
Time to stay here for a second. Okay, you're fine? You're alright? Yes, I'm fine. Alright, give me a second. And she's gonna, like, go forward and kneel down and kind of, like, pick up Yezi's head and be like, Jesus Christ. And, like, picks it up and is like...
It's not Yezi. It's somebody else. And they're bleeding. From the stomach. from the face. What are you doing? You're just sitting there? You're gonna do something about it?
I think that she looks at this and she's just like, okay, it ain't that bad. No, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be just fine. You know, it's gonna be all right. And she's like starting to busy herself.
Okay. Busy yourself doing what? What are you doing?
I think that she's like reaching for potions that she has, like, you know, cure wounds, healing word, stuff like that. And I think that she's trying to situate this person in a way that they're more available.
There's a lot of blood.
It's gonna be alright, I promise. You're gonna be fine. Hey, it's me taking care of you. Can't be scared if it's me, right?
What's Tavumile seeing?
I think that she is seeing Iffy. She has Yezi's face, like, in her hands, and Iffy's just staring at her. And I think that Yezi's arm is, like, waving, like, trying to bat Iffy's arm away, like, just not really all there. And I think Tavumile walks forward, and she's just like, Iffy.
Go ahead as Tavumile roll a disadvantage perception check.
Nat 1.
Really?
Holy crap. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You are focused on what's going on. You're seeing Iffy just like fingers twitching, you know, just not really doing anything, just saying things and not really moving, and kind of, you know, like stuff, Iffy kind of like jerking slightly and blinking.
I think that Tavin will walk forward and put a hand on Iffy's shoulder.
Good roll. Would that make it advantage Constitution saving throw? Okay, cool. Effectively giving that help action.
Yeah. 17.
You kind of like, you shake your head. You feel Tavumile's hand on your shoulder, like gentle gesture that would never have been a part of one of that, you know? And you kind of like snap back into reality. You snap back into reality. And you see in your hands is just Yezi's face.
Okay. He's just like, what's up? She's just drunk. She's fine. And she's like manipulating her face. She's like friggin' pushes away Yezi's arm. She's like, Did you pay for your tab? Yezi? Fuck you. Alright. Tavin, will you sit here with her? And then we'll figure out. Her head is heavy as hell, so I really don't know how we're going to pick her up, but we're going to figure it out. And I think that Tavin was like, alright. You're going, what are you doing? I'm going to go pay for her damn tab. We ain't coming back here, you know that. She's going to... I figure if she ain't paid for it, she's going to walk out on it. I mean, maybe she won't. Maybe that's an assumption that I'm making, but, you know, Santa knows the people here, right? Yes? That's how we were able to get a room. Right, so I don't want to cause no issues. So, I'm going to go pay for a tab. Hopefully I can afford that. And, we're going to try to get her back to the room. Alright. Do you want me to help pay for the tab? Honey, what do you got on you? What do you mean? She's like looking down at herself. No, I mean, good Lord. How much money you got? Not a lot. Yeah, so it's fine. What am I using it for? Nothing. I don't got no bills or nothing, so we're gonna be fine. Just sit right here. Alright. I think that Tavimil just kind of sits crisscross like in front of Yezi. And I feel like Tavimil starts like stroking Yezi's hair. I think Iffy goes, like, stands up and she goes to the bar. Okay,
so as you walk down this hallway, go ahead and roll a disadvantage perception check, as is, you always do that.
6.
Goodness.
Yeah. I'm really rolling like
You're
shit.
rolling great. So, as you walk down the hallway back into the dining hall, you walk around the corner and you see the barkeep looking derisively at the back of someone who's leaving. Kind of like rolling her eyes. And then kind of like turns her attention to you.
Can I pay for her tab? I'm assuming she didn't pay for it, right?
No, of course not.
All right, how much is it?
And she's gonna like grab it out and like shows it to you, like kind of flips it around and shows it to you.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah. And it is 10 gold.
Well, can I pay for part of it now? And then, Tavumile? I think that she, like, calls Tavumile's name. She's just like, yes? Like, she just hears her from the freaking hallway. She's like, how much was it that you said that you got on you? She hears, like, a little bit of sound. 4 gold and 1 silver. All right.
Does Tavumile look in her direction?
Look in
the direction of Iffy's voice?
Yeah.
Okay, roll a perception check for Tavumile. Dear God, it's me. Help, Shay.
4.
Straight up 4? Dang, bro. So you just look in that direction and then you just look back to Yezi, who's like, on the ground.
Like, she's like, all right, I'll promise you right now, on my honor and my life. Don't look at me like that. Look, I'm sorry we're causing you issues. I promise you that we're going to pay for this. I just have to figure out how, but we're going to pay for it before we leave. You could kill me. Look, I'm giving you the option to kill me if we don't pay for this.
Roll me a disadvantage freaking perception check. For the love of God.
13.
13?
Yes.
You hear chuckling behind you.
If he friggin' looks.
It is the same retreating person. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
21.
Wow. He would have made it to the outside before, whatever, unless he was like slow motion walking there. And you hear that chuckle. So presumably he's turned back around. He's trying to hide the fact that he's been standing there listening to this interaction.
Hey, if you find this entertaining, I mean, you could toss us a coin for our cause.
There's like a pause.
You gotta pay for a show, don't you?
And you hear, would if I could loss.
Her face.
And you hear the door, hand on the door handle. Push the door open.
I think that she fully would recognize his voice, right?
I think we should roll for it. It's been a long time. Also, like, she's been zooping in and out of reality, so who knows if this is even real.
What would it be, history?
Okay. If you want to roll with advantage, you can give me your reasoning.
I think that the reason why she would roll with advantage is because even though she's been kind of in and out of reality, a lot of it has been in terms of him.
Based, yeah.
So, hearing his voice in her head.
All right. You can roll with advantage. The reason you're... No way. What'd you roll?
Okay, 19 plus 12.
Oh, good! I was going to say, the reason you said, what would that be, history, is because you have a friggin' plus 12.
It would be history, though.
Friggin' Yezi has a ripping good memory, which sucks for her, and she wishes it wasn't true. What did I say, Yezi? Yezi probably too, but Iffy for sure. Yeah. And you hear that. And all of a sudden that chuckle is the most familiar sound you'd ever heard in your entire life. And you cannot understand why that didn't tip you off in the first place.
Yeah.
Every single chuckle you heard plays in your head, like cacophonous sound, as the barkeep stares at you, the back of your head. You fully turned around to address this person, and you hear the sound of the door opening.
Wait.
He does not wait.
She, like, fully is going forward.
You hear, as long as you pay before you leave.
I will. I'll be back with you in just a second.
She, like, rolls her eyes. The bar's closed. I'm going to bed. She, like, storms around the corner. Freaking, what is Tavumile doing?
Tavumil's like, Iffy. Like, she's, like, stands up, but I feel like she doesn't. She's just looking down at Yezi, and she's like...
The barkeep rounds the corner and says, what did I say?
We're going to fix it, I promise. I'll try myself right now. She's going to try to pick up Yezi, and she's like...
And the freaking barkeep goes, how pathetic are you?
Try with me.
Like I said, it's your problem. And then she's like looking at as she says that, the like parts on the ground where there's like dents in the rocks, and it's like, okay, maybe she's not pathetic. Look, I've got to close up shop, so when I come back in an hour she's still here, then you're leaving.
All right.
She's gonna like, roll her eyes, start like putting away, putting up the frickin', stuff that you put up in
Tavumile's gonna go wake up Thalen. Like, she's gonna go
she's gonna let Iffy run out the door after this guy?
Well, I think that she's like, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, she's gonna go wake up Thalen.
Yeah.
Cool. So she goes to do that. This guy, fully, like, turns the handle, opens the door, and is making his way down the, like, few stairs. Okay.
I feel like Iffy would pretty quickly meet him.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
Okay. I think that she meets him and then puts a hand out and puts it on his shoulder.
When he feels your hand on his shoulder, he stops. And, the moment the door opens, you feel like the cold chill.
Uh-huh.
You kind of shudder against it. And it's kind of like the sky is dark, but it's like a blue, and it's lit up with, a million stars.
Yeah.
It's like a deep navy blue. And you can feel the wind kind of whistling, as you put your hand on his shoulder on the stairs. And he stops. He doesn't move at all.
By any chance, does your name happen to be Raspberry?
Depends.
On what?
About reception.
Your reception?
He's gonna turn to face you.
Iffy has like a dumbfounded smile, like plastered to her face, like a stupid smile.
You're a stare above him, so you are fiendishly tall.
Yeah.
And he turns his head and looks up at you.
Is it Vatil?
Definitely looks like him. Sort of doesn't also. His hair, this person's hair, is considerably longer, still short, but not, the short that it was then. Fully, like, clean shaven, so that helps. But he's definitely older, too. And, a couple scars that you're not familiar with.
Ain't no way.
It's been a long time.
Sure has. I must have spoken you into existence or something.
He raises an eyebrow.
I was telling stories about you just earlier today.
He looks at you with like a dumbstruck expression.
Don't look so concerned. All good things.
So. Well.
You have a room here?
Apparently there's not any left.
Oh.
The wall of keys would say otherwise, but...
Right. Where are you going?
Well, perhaps I'll try my chances at another inn. If I can find one.
I mean, I have a room. I would offer that, but there's also 2 other people sleeping in it, so I don't know how that would be. Sorry, I'm just surprised to see.
Surprised as well. Figured you'd want nothing to do with me.
What? Why would I want nothing to do with you? I actually was wondering where you were. Realized, after I left. Well, after they kicked me out. I didn't know what happened to you. There's a guy I'm traveling with. He said that someone he knew got a letter from you. I guess they thought that you were dead or something, and then they got that letter, and he said not to get my hopes up.
I'd say he was right in that assessment.
What, you're alive?
Aye.
I mean, that's what he meant. And maybe you still were dead and it was just someone impersonating you.
Thought I heard you. Around the corner. Figured I'd make myself scarce.
What? Why?
Don't get me wrong, I've got no... nothing against you.
I was a bit scary.
What?
I mean, it took me a little while to get used to it, too.
Used to what?
What do you mean? I think she, kind of tilts her head to, just show him the scars and stuff.
He's gonna kind of, look away.
Yeah, I know. But it's, it ain't all that bad.
Heals well.
I guess so. I mean,
Considering.
yeah. They wouldn't give me a greater restoration, nothing like that, so.
He's gonna, raise an eyebrow. Look at you with, pure confusion.
What?
Are you serious?
I'm what?
Are you serious?
About what?
What you just said.
What, that they wouldn't give me greater restoration? Yeah. All they did was just, cure wounds and stuff like that. That's why it's all.
What was the last time you saw me?
I mean, years ago.
A bit more detail.
Right before this happened to me, we, made it across a stretch that we weren't so sure we were going to get through, and saw you. Talk to me, and you I feel like she kind of looks down a little bit, like not saying something that he did.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways,
Roll a Constitution save.
okay. Don't do this to me, man. 9.
You're back there again, and you just finished going around making sure that everybody's ready for this next final push, so called because you have nothing left, no resources, like elf or otherwise.
Yeah.
The middle of the night, pitch black outside because light discipline, nobody can have any fires or anything like that, and everybody is trying to get what few hours of sleep they can before you make your next movement. And what is Iffy doing at this time?
I think that she was making rounds, making sure that folks who needed patching up were getting the help that they could get, at least. I mean, even though really have anything to give them, she could make sure that they were not just bleeding out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she's also doing just a mental head count of like, all right, this is what we have left.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also she is keeping an eye out for Vatil, who she hasn't seen yet.
Yeah, you've not seen him anywhere. You've been to tent after tent, waking folks up who are asleep, bandaging people up who are needed. You're just moving in the darkness, and it's the kind of like wet, humid summer disgustingness.
Mm-hmm.
And then the barely any relief of being inside, one of the tents. There's not 1,000 mosquitoes trying to eat you alive. There's maybe 200 mosquitoes trying to eat you alive instead. Going into one of the tents, coming back out, and it's like suffocating. And the smell of conflict is all over. It smells like air, smells like ash, like horrible, disgusting, swampy, hot grossness and ash, and then just general, detritus, earth floor, just like decaying underneath you. Is there something that draws Iffy specifically to Vatil's tent? Just curious how he's doing, or?
I think no. I think she is working her way through every part of their kind of scattered, setup. Like, just stopping when she needs to stop and help somebody. Going through every part, asking people if they've got anything on them, like, any spare potions, anything like that. And I think that she just happens upon Vatil through her rounds.
Mm-hmm. So you arrive at Vatil's tent, and you can tell from the outside that he has a candle or something, some sort of light coming from inside his tent. And you open the flap, and you go inside, and you see that he is sitting it's a glorified piece of, refuse. It's barely a table, really. It's just sort of an object in the shape of a flat surface with some legs. And he's sitting on, his tent's kind of butted up against the side of a elevation. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of sitting on this like rocky outcropping, if you will, with pieces of paper and, little tiny, presumably representatives of forces open in front of him. And he is kind of crumpled in the posture that you sort of naturally adopt when you are focusing without realizing it. So he's got his hand kind of like across his mouth, and his elbows it's like contorted weirdly, like he's melted into this like pure structural posture. And you see in his fingers is a cigarette that is basically burnt out. Like he hasn't even, like, either he is finished smoking it, is for some reason holding the embers in between his fingers, or he never smoked it and just lit it and let it just burn. And his hand's over like an ashtray that is just, again, like an old plate or something. Candle light to light up the thing. And you see him first. It takes a second for him to register that stuff's going on. But he doesn't, like, make any notice of you.
Sir? You alright? I'm making sure everyone's fine.
Fabulous.
I never heard you use that word before.
I just learned it.
Did you? Well, now's the time to learn new words as ever.
It's in a book.
A book? What book were you reading?
I don't know, the Bible.
Well,
So you're checking to make sure I'm okay.
I'm checking to make sure everyone's alright.
Well.
It's my job, ain't it?
You can mark me down as fabulous.
Alright. Mark you down as fabulous. Well, I guess I'll go make sure that everyone else is fine.
How many have you got left?
Well, I ain't exactly sure.
Right. Well, report back here when you've finished.
Yes, sir. I feel like she turns and she walks out. And she keeps making her rounds, and I think probably takes her maybe like another hour and a half, 2 hours. And she comes back, and I think that they probably have less than half of what they started out with.
You mean in terms of forces?
Yeah.
So you come back to his tent, same situation. Really the only change that you see is that he is holding what has to be, by the laws of physics, a new cigarette. And the candle is about, like, 2 inches more melted down. If that's a ludicrous amount of candle to have melted, I could care less. You just walk right back into his tent.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Well, you told me to report back here. You know, I couldn't have even told that any time had passed.
Have you eaten?
What?
Well, I've got a present for you.
Oh, do you now? What might that be? She, like, walks forward more.
For a dedicated medic. He, like, lays back against the thing, like, just like a big, I haven't moved in 3 hour stretch. He's gonna kind of like lean to the side, reach into the bag next to him, and pull out a piece of bread, a few pieces of which has been either eaten off of or, pulled off of. And he holds it out to you.
You've eaten from it before?
Have I had bread before?
No. She like grabs it.
I'm not from your neck of the woods, but we had bread, Bummer.
That ain't what I'm asking. I'm asking if you've eaten from this one.
I bet I couldn't help myself.
How selfish. She like takes a big bite. Don't laugh at me. It's so good.
I'm going to say, lass, I didn't expect you to moan.
Like laughs as something comes out. She's like, you gonna make me lose my damn meal.
Bummer.
I'm just appreciating your presence, sir.
I appreciate it while you can.
Yeah. Takes another bite.
This is certainly a task I'm not equal to.
What?
Not that I've been equal to any of the tasks put before me, but especially not as.
I don't know. I mean, I think you've been doing a pretty fine job.
You
Not
don't
that
know anything.
Yeah.
I don't mean, planning operations and stuff like that. I think about that, Bamri, that is something very important that must be there in order. That would be that.
Right.
Just planning an operation. We're going to go take this hill or castle or something like that. That's easy, because it's true. I'm boring you.
What? No.
It raises an eyebrow at you.
It's been a long night.
I'm only joking. It's never been like this before, At least before there's been a pretense that we've got. Still remains that thing that's so important. But now it's... So whose death certificate am I signing? We're going to take it, we always. Emotion's the most important thing. We always, at least if we didn't succeed, we made some headway.
Yeah.
Some sort of goal. I don't like playing for time, lass. Waiting it out.
Yeah, well, just waiting for them to end it. I mean, we've been losing for a long time.
Always had something, some part of shred of hope that this truly is all good. He gestures grandly to the map.
Well, I mean,
It's truly the belly of the beast. He's got nowhere else to go but forward.
I mean, the way I see it, we weren't here to win a war. We were just here to do what we were told. So that's what we're continuing to do. And
You are here to do what you were told.
ain't you also supposed to do what you're told?
Of course, but I'm here to win a war. Besides, doing what you're told, following orders, it's some sort of... Do you understand what I mean, lass? The underpinning to the whole thing that has all got a meaning to it. You know? Just spinning our wheels now. It's foolishness. They ought to end it. Don't let anybody... No, I've said that. But they ought to end it.
Everybody agrees with you. It's not like that would be.
Not everybody agrees with me.
At least everybody here.
I remember a long time ago. In weather that was somehow both more and less favourable. That's kind of how you choose who lives and who dies.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's what I'm deciding.
Who lives and who dies?
The way that he's gonna lean over kind of gestures you to come forward.
She walks forward and kind of leans down.
Yeah, leans over the map and says, everyone on the outside around here has a guarantee there's going to be a smudge on the ground. There's no way. If you're coming up the middle, you've got a fighting chance, but that's what I mean. I'm not going to listen to your input.
I wasn't going to give you none.
Good. Good roll an insight check.
Okay. 15.
As he says good, he looks up at you.
Mm-hmm.
And as your eyes meet, you can see, in his face, kind of carved out of the darkness by the orange flickering of the candle, him looking up at you, and he's looking at you in a very peculiar way. The way that you've seen before.
What? I mean, I gotta say, I don't envy you.
There's a reason or two to envy me.
Oh, is there?
Yes, there is, lass.
What would that be?
Well, I have the pleasure of receiving a beautiful woman in my tent this evening.
What, you bring some of those barmaids with you? How you keeping them safe, huh? Where are they?
Oh, they're safe. He's gonna reach a hand out kind of towards, your hands kind of propping you up, leaning over the table. He's still sat down, so he's kind of looking up at you. He's gonna reach out a hand towards your arm and kind of withdraw it. Just hesitate.
I feel like she looks at his hand and then looks at him. I think she kind of sits down all the way.
He's gonna reach out and puts the back of his fingers, just two fingers, against the outside of her hand.
I feel like she's looking at that. She doesn't move her hand at all, not closer to him, but not also taking it away. Hands warm.
All of me is warm.
That's good.
It's gonna kind of like move his hands so that the back of your hands are touching.
Mm-hmm.
It's lost, lass. It's all lost. Don't let that for a moment make you think I'm not going to do my best.
I don't ever doubt you. If I doubted you, I wouldn't be listening to you.
There's a time or two when you ought to have doubted me.
I don't know, I'm still here. Still alive.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you only had Shamelin, then you'd be shit out of luck.
The fact that he's still knocking about. It's got better luck than you do, lass. At least you've got your head screwed on straight most of the time.
I think that's the first time everyone's ever said that to me.
Plenty of times you should have doubted me. Plenty of missed opportunities. Mistakes I've made. Hundreds. I'll list them all for you now. With the other hand, he picks up the pen he was using. If you'd like.
I ain't interested in your mistakes. I've made plenty myself. So has everyone else out there. That ain't what it's about. You know that, right? We all know that it's not up to you whether we live or die. I mean, really, it ain't. It's not up to them either. I mean,
of course, that's not what it's about. It's about the mission. It's about victory.
Well, maybe that's what it's about to you. I wouldn't expect you to be able to see it, but...
What would you not expect me to be able to say?
It's about... Really, it's about who you are with us. You're one of us. And you always will be. And yeah, you're an officer, you're in charge of us, but I care about you. You've made yourself, whether you agree or not, worthy to be cared for. Just like how I had to make myself worthy to be cared for. Worthy enough that we're going to care for you just like we're going to care for our own lives. That's what makes you a good leader. We can see ourselves in you.
You were always worthy about being cared for. You just got lost somewhere and ended up here. And you've got the misfortune of having me to care for you.
I don't think it's a misfortune. Some might say it's a misfortune having me to care for you. You know, we only have about really less than half of what we started with. Maybe if I was any medic to write home about, that wouldn't be true.
That's not how it works. That's all my fault.
Guess we're both hypocrites, huh?
No, just you. He winks at you. It's different, lass. You said mistakes don't matter, but my mistakes. Their blood cries out to me from the ground. Tomorrow, I've got to lead you on. Motivate you to. I say there's been a lot of mistakes, a lot of missed opportunities. This is an opportunity that I will not miss.
What is?
He's gonna take his hand, kind of gently put his fingers around your forearm,
Mm-hmm.
kind of pull himself closer to you.
Sir?
So lost. What does it matter now?
Doesn't.
His other hand, he's gonna kind of cup your cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of leaves it there, like test the waters a bit.
She kind of leans her cheek into it more.
Holds eye contact with you and says, "Stop me."
She doesn't say anything.
He leans in. And then you feel something shaking your shoulder.
What?
Stay with me now.
I'm here.
You're not playing a game with me, are you? You wouldn't do that to me.
Playing a game?
If you're going to finish what you started, I thank you to do it. You've not got to trick me, lass. And he's going to kind of look down at himself.
What are you talking about?
You're being serious.
Yes. Look, did I black out a little bit? Sorry, I mean, I just recently found out I do that. Sorry if that's freaking you out.
I'd like to talk to you.
I would like that as well.
Shouldn't take long. Just like to make you aware of a few things.
Wait, okay. I mean, frankly, I would like to talk to you to catch up, but it seems as though there is a few things that I'm missing.
Bar's empty.
Right?
Not talking to the... have a problem with that.
Alright. I do have to move a lady, so that I don't get kicked out, but...
Oh, that ruckus that you were causing.
I was causing. Hey, it ain't my fault she's... I guess can't hold her liquor.
I don't want any disturbances, so if you're not sure, then maybe we pick another day.
I ain't gonna be here again.
I won't be here for long.
I have to leave tomorrow.
He's giving you kind of like a odd look that you can interpret if you so choose.
Yeah, roll insight on that. 20. Not net.
He had sort of a light in his eyes. Kind of a familiar one when he's talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say that, it goes out.
We were just resting here until we...
Well, then there's no time. Let's talk.
Yeah.
He's gonna kind of push past you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you standing in the open doorway, or?
Yeah.
Kind of wait for you to make room.
Yeah, I think she's gonna scoot over to the side.
And you watch him kind of slowly make his way around you. You kind of stand there in the doorway. And you see that he's leaning heavily on a cane. Kind of just head down, like walking towards a corner table.
Uh-huh. Iffy's gonna follow. I think she's fully like, I don't care about Yezi anymore. Like,
Yeah, screw
they
that.
could sort themselves out.
Mm-hmm. And you walk back in and follow him to that table. And that's where we're gonna have this episode at 2. I'm gonna be late to therapy. Goodbye.
Bye.